Caledonia head coach Carl Fruechte joining us as we get set for week number one. Caledonia will make the trip up to Rochester Lourdes this Friday night. And coach, I know every team is different, but what you want your program to be about each and every year, those principles remain consistent. How do you go about selling those principles on a year in and year out basis to make sure what you want your kids to be all about are as consistent as possible year in and year out?
Well, I think the most important thing is to relate to the rest of their lives. I mean, our job, right, as coaches and educators is to get young men, in this case, ready for the next step. So we want to talk about how these principles help them to whatever they're going to go into the military, into the workforce, if they're going to go to a tech school, so on. So, um, for us, everything's about attitude and effort and making sure that that's in everything they do. Even, we talk a lot about, there's certain classes that guys just don't like, and we understand that, but you gotta pass your English class, and that's just the way it is. So it's attitude and effort, and that's how I think you keep building on it, and you keep that message, pure and clear.
When it comes to the on the field performance, as you very well know, a lot of success has to do with what you do when nobody's looking in the off season. What type of an off season has your group had as you prepare for week number one this week?
Yeah, I think we did a real nice job. We were pretty consistent. They're getting pulled in a lot of directions, and we want them to do other sports and other great activities. So we thought our kids that were with us did a great job. The other thing I like, where you went with that is it's all the things that even us coaches don't see. How are you behaving at home? What are you doing at home? Are you taking care of body, mind, and soul? Are you eating good, drinking good? You getting your rest? Are right? The big thing right now is fighting that cell phone. You just got to put it away and get your good sleep. So all that's important, and people don't realize it. Again, it's about being disciplined and getting ready for the next step in your life.
As for preseason camp to this point, what's pleased you the most since you started formal practices a couple of weeks ago?
Well, we've really, we've always talked about it, Darren, but we really made a point of, attitude and effort. We talk about it every day. We're not the biggest team, but we do have good speed, good feet, good hands. Just making sure we do, control what we can control, and just going out there and playing hard, running around, not worrying about making mistakes. We'll clean it up. We did have a little walkthrough scrimmage last Friday. To be honest, at times there was a little bit too much griping, and so we addressed that and just, what are you going to do when things don't go well, and we'll see how it picks up today.
How important are those scrimmage situations in preseason? So once you get to a Friday night, that those game situations aren't totally foreign.
Yeah, I think they're extremely important, especially for the juniors, sophomores, guys like that. We feel like our kids are mature, but still, it's, they're amped up. It's a Friday night. They want to do well. They want to make us happy. They want to make the seniors happy. The seniors, want to do a great job. Get things, going on the right foot. But you got to calm them down and still keep it simple and make sure. Okay, do we got 11? All those simple things that you still see on Saturdays and Sundays, professionals and big time D1 guys messing up. So you want to just keep it simple, and understand that they're amped up, ready to go.
You've touched on it many times in the past. The best teams have the players in the leadership role as compared to anybody from the outside or really even the coaching staff. Would you say that's the case so far through camp with this team?
Yeah, again, a great point. That's something we talk about again too. Bad teams, nobody leads. Good teams, players lead. Excuse me, coaches lead. Good teams, coaches lead. Great teams, players lead. Now, when we talk about that, we also say it's got to be in conjunction with us coaches, because right, you can't have the young guys just run around doing whatever they want. There's got to be some really mature leadership there. And right now, we feel like, we're doing a good job. Now, with that said, right, everything's different if you're down 21-0 or you're down 14-0 or, a couple bad plays. Again, how do we deal with that and how do we react? But right now, we feel like our seniors are doing a great job. Juniors and sophomores are listening. We even got some freshmen that are really stepping up and really pushing, and they're doing a great job leading as well.
When you go into week number one, everyone's a little bit green. You might have a little bit of an idea of what to expect from your opponent. They might have a good idea of what to expect from you, but this is a different particular group that you're playing this Friday night. Historically, how much do you focus on the opponent heading into week number one? How much do you focus on yourself? And does it depend on what type of group do you have?
A little bit of both. That's a great question. Again, it all depends on the maturity of your athlete. If he's mature, you can expand a little bit more. If he's immature, you got to really scale back. Um, Number two, we want to spend more time on us. At the end of the day, this is still game one. Yes, we want to win it. Coach Kessler does a great job at Rochester Lords. You have an idea what he's going to do, right? You know he's going to do some option game. You know he's going to do power. You know he's going to run, ISO weak. He does a great job. His defense is, 4-2, and, it's his own package typically behind it. He's very solid. This is what they do. Now, for me, I'm always, look at this athlete, look at this athlete, look where they might have an advantage over us. How are we going to control that weakness? And also, they got a strength here, we got a strength. How you take it still comes down to your better athletes have to overtake their better athletes. X's and O's are important, don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
it's and then minimizing your guys that aren't quite as good so they don't make too many mistakes.
And this Rochester Lures team that you play on Friday night, what are you expecting out of them? What type of team do they got coming back?
Yeah, typical Lords. We haven't played them in a couple years, but like I said, Coach Kessler and his staff do a great job. We have great respect for them. They're a 3A power. Um, we do know that they got a real good tailback, so we expect some heavy dose of him. They like to throw a lot of fly, go routes. There'll be some play action pass. They run they run a couple of different option games. So we got to make sure that we have all, our gap integrity, and we take care of those gaps and make more plays than them. To be real honest, it's a very important opener for both schools. And regardless, it's all about getting better as you get ready for the tournament.
All right, Carl, we appreciate you taking some time to preview the season with us. Keep your kids healthy. Hopefully, you can get off to a good start Friday night. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate your work.
Carl Fruechte, head coach of the Caledonia Warriors. They're heading up to Rochester Lures this Friday night.